Hey YouTubers, Rival X Factor here, and it's time for us to have a chat. Holo sight versus Reflex versus Cobra, and my thought processes on each and why I've kind of switched things up. But first, let's cover a scope that a lot of you guys love, and by any means, this is all personal choice. It's up to you at the end of the day. So let's talk about it. The Holo scope has a pretty good zoom level compared to the Reflex and Cobra, which have identical zooms to using irons and zooming in. All right, but what do we notice about this besides the zoom level? Well, it's got a pretty boxy, clunky scope design to it, but what else? What about the responsiveness? What about the distance of travel? All right, so what happens is when you do a 360, or when I do a 360, it's about 2.5 inches to do that while hip firing. Now, what happens when I do a 360 while ADSing with this scope? Well, I almost run out of mouse pad, actually, because it takes me 6 3/4 to 7 inches at my set sensitivity. Everybody's will be different. So why don't I like that? Because it's a little too slow for me based on what I'm used to. Now, if you only use the Holo scope, you're not going to notice this. So that's kind of be my stump speech. Pick one of these 3 scopes or pick one type and kind of stick with it, because it's all about feel. And you guys play basketball, a men's ball versus a girl's ball. Slight differences, pretty much feel the same, but you're going to shoot a whole heck of a lot different, and you're probably going to fumble the dribble a little bit every once in a while. But where is this scope nice? When you need to make micro adjustments when aiming downrange quite a ways and keeping the crosshair on track. That's kind of nice because, again, it takes more input from you. So it's kind of hard to over-aim with this sort of scope coming from the other two. So let's take a look at my 2 favorites. And let's go back a while. I used to be Cobra everything. Cobra'd out from suit to boot, okay? And the reason is the visibility level on this. And it's good for kits with a lot or moderate horizontal recoil, and we all know this skill cannon, right? The AEK. So what do I mean by visibility? Well, let's zoom in, all right? First, it's got the same zoom as irons, as I talked about before. And second, look at the actual frame of the scope. Not too large. So if somebody peeks this little corner here, I'm probably going to see them and be able to adjust. That's a nice bonus. Now, the zoomed in ADS, or aiming down sight distance, for me is 4 1/4 inches. Much easier for me to do a full 360 and make those quick reactions over on larger angles, okay? Because, again, the distance to travel with the Holo is so much more. It's night and day. So, again, horizontal recoil, I like this still, and I still use it on my AEK, and I still use it from time to time on the M16 when I'm messing around. But as you can see, it doesn't have a lot of stuff going on in the middle. It's got that nice little vertical bar, which I can use to help me keep completely on target when I'm trying to mess around and counter the recoil with this gun. So I love the AEK. It's one of my top kits, but man, that vertical recoil combined with that horizontal is kind of nasty. All right. So what about the red dot? When do I use it, and why do I like it? Well, first and foremost, the red dot is a nice headhunter. Right? You put the dot on the head, you pull the trigger, you counter the recoil, you watch the baddie drop. It's simple to use, not a lot going on, but there's some drawbacks to it. First and foremost is the actual size of the scope. Okay, so let's take a look at our little head glitch spot, right? Now look at this. If I'm looking over here and somebody peeks right here, I'm not going to be able to see them. That's big and that's clunky. And that's my only knock on this scope. I wish it was wide open like the Cobra scope, all right? And then with the way the irons work with the M16, the actual red dot's right on the tip of the iron, so that's kind of cool too. And again, with the M16, it's simple, point, click. It's that simple. And again, there's not a lot of horizontal recoil in this gun. The distance, while ADS is the same as the Cobra. So my thought process is this. Pick one type or the other and stick with it. Cobra or red dot act the same. Do you want a scope with kind of a peripheral that's blocked, or do you want a clean peripheral with a different looking design within the scope to help you balance things out? Either one of them you can get used to. All right. I'm just preferring the red dot right now due to its sheer precision with the first 5 to 6 bullets out of an M16 or M416. Again, this boils down to what you like and what you think, and that's all that really matters at the end of the day, is what you guys are comfortable with. If you guys found this information helpful or want to give something else a try, don't forget to give me the old thumbs up, or tums up as I usually say it, and we'll see you soon, YouTube.